Welcome to our channel. This is Jeff. He is our 11-week-old Labrador Retriever Puppy, and I'm going to talk you through how it's been having him with our family for the last 2 weeks. I've got a busy household with a husband, 13-year-old, a 3-year-old and an 18-month-old. So Jeff is now 11 weeks old and we have had him for 2 weeks, and it's been a really good 2 weeks. What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk through the highs and the lows of this last week, and then what our plan is moving forward so that we can have less of the lows. So to start off, the highs this week: toilet training. He's had no accidents in the house. It's been amazing. Really fortunate with how toilet training's gone. I think a big part of that is actually down to the fact that we got him during the summer. I didn't realise when we did that it would be such a benefit to us, but being able to leave the doors open, because it's nice warm weather outside, so we can just leave the doors open in the living room. So we spend the majority of our time when we're at home in the living room, and he is in there with us and his crate's in there. And we've got some doors, patio doors, French doors, that lead out onto the garden. So we open those up for him, and it means that he can just come and go as he pleases, and he can, whenever he needs the toilet, he can just go out and go to the toilet. But what I do make sure that I do is that when I come into the room, so when I take him out of the crate, I will always make him go into the garden. So I'll say, come on Jeff, out we go, and I'll go outside with him. And then after he's eaten, about straight after he's eaten, and then about half an hour after he's eaten, I'll take him into the garden again. And then, because he normally does his wheeze sort of straight after he's woken up, or he's been playing, or he's eaten. But his poos, he normally does a short while, sort of 15 minutes to half an hour after he's eaten. So I make sure that I do take him out. Although he's very good with his poos, actually, he will take himself out when he needs a poo. With the wheeze, he would prefer to come and have cuddles and things when he comes out of his crate. So I'm worried that if I don't make him go outside first, that he will then have an accident in the house. So that's just a habit that we've got into, and it works really well, and means that over the last week we've had 0 accidents in the house, which has been really nice. And at night time he goes to bed about 10:30. I say he goes to bed, we put him in his crate about 10:30. He settles down a bit earlier, actually. He tends to settle down at about sort of 9:30 in the evening. We get the children into bed, so he stays downstairs. And my oldest son, so I've got 3 children. I've got a 18-month-old, a 3-year-old and a 13-year-old. So the 13-year-old sometimes will stay down with the dog in the living room with Jeff, and then I'll go upstairs, put the girls to bed, the 2 youngest, so the 3-year-old and the 18-month-old, and then after they're asleep I'll then come back down. He'll then get excited, we'll do a bit of training, and then he'll just settle down next to me, sort of curl up next to my feet and go to sleep. So yeah, that's his sort of normal bedtime. And then just before I go up at about 10:30, he will then, I'll wake him up, make him come outside into the garden, and he'll normally go for a wee at that point, and he'll also have a little bit more to eat actually just before bed. So yeah, he has his water and his food just before bed, and then we wake up at about 6:30 in the morning now with him, and then he goes out into the garden, straight out into the garden, and he'll go to the toilet. And then he has a bit of a play with the children, because obviously all 3 of them have got up and they're excited to see him in the mornings, and so he'll have a play with them, and then he'll just settle back down again. And then when I give them their breakfast, I'll put him back in his crate, and he'll just settle back down in his crate for a little bit. Then I'll get, if there's nursery and things like that, I'll take my daughter to nursery, and then when I come back I'll do some training with him. And I've always got the little one because she hasn't started nursery yet, so we'll do some training. He'll eat a little bit more, and yeah, when we come back in I take him straight out to the toilet. So the next thing that's gone really well this week is his training. So he likes to please you, he likes to get treats, and it means that it's really working with his training. So he tries to do what you're asking him to do. So he's learnt so far sit, and he's very good at sit, and he's learnt lay down, he's good at lay down, and he's learnt come, and he's also learnt stay. So that yeah, I'm really pleased with the way that his training's going. Okay, Jeff, sit. Good boy, Jeff. Good boy, gentle. Jeff, stay. Good boy, Jeff. Good boy. Jeff, come. Good boy, Jeff. Jeff, lay down. Good boy. Jeff, come. Good boy. You clever boy. I need to teach him crate so that when we're going out, I at the moment just grab him and put him in there. But what I need to really work on training him to go into his crate. So he knows when I say crate, he goes in his crate, he gets a treat, and then he settles down, because he doesn't whimper when he goes in there. So that's definitely something that I'm going to be working on in this coming week. And then the last thing that I would say that's gone really well, yeah, is the crate. So he goes in his crate nicely. He sleeps at night. He doesn't whimper at night. In the daytime, when I need to go into the kitchen to make food and stuff like that, he goes in it really nicely. And yeah, that was something that I was working on from last week, so that he wasn't eating all of the children's food, because he found out that my 18-month-old drops quite a lot of food off her plate and so onto the floor, and he would just sit underneath her chair and just like wait for the food to drop down. And so yeah, I thought I need to stop this, because obviously I need to know what he's eating, and I don't always feed the girls food that's necessarily suitable for the dog. And so yeah, so I thought, okay, he needs to go in his crate when they're eating, because I don't want him just hoovering up anything that they drop on the floor, and then I have a quick sweep under their chairs before I let him out again. And so yeah, that's been working really well, and he just settles down when he goes in his crate. He just knows he's getting a little bit of time just to sort of chill out without children messing with him. And so yeah, it's been working really, really well, his crate. I'm glad we did get the crate for him. And the other rule that we have is that the children don't mess with him when he goes in his crate. And he goes under the sofa quite a lot when he wants a bit of a break, but he will occasionally go in his crate just to get a break from the children, because he knows that I've said that they're not allowed to go in there. So he gets a bit of a respite from them. And it's not going to be long until he's actually going to be too big to go underneath the sofa, because it's only about sort of, I don't know, about that much space underneath the sofa. So yeah, his days are numbered for how long he'll fit under that. So at some point he'll probably transition over to just using the crate as a space that he can go when he just wants to be left alone. You're going to go in your crate, Jeff? You're going to go in? Good boy, Jeff. Yeah. So I've been through all of the positives from last week, and now I'm going to talk you through our challenges. So the first challenge is nipping. This is definitely the biggest challenge that I've got, and it's the one that I want to get resolved as quickly as possible. So he is a lovely boy. He's a really, really good dog, but he's a puppy and he gets very excited, and in particular with my 3-year-old, he just thinks she's so exciting, and he gets, yeah, just so excited and really sort of wants to play with her, and he'll jump up and he will nip her arms. So he sort of nips sort of this bit, her forearm, and he's got razor sharp little teeth. He's got his puppy teeth, and he's not trying to hurt her. He's not like trying to be malicious or anything like that, but he's nipping her and he's causing scratches on her arms, and it hurts. And obviously she's got her part to play in that. She's 3, so she doesn't really understand how you're meant to play with a dog, and he's a puppy and he doesn't really understand. So it's something that I definitely need to get on top of now. So with my 3-year-old, I've got to make sure that she understands that when he gets all excited, she just needs to stop, she needs to walk away, and she needs to let him calm down. And also the other thing that she needs to do is when we go into a room, so say when she wakes up in the morning, she'll go downstairs and he will be so excited to see her when she walks into the living room. He'll normally be in there with me and my son, and he's so excited, and he goes up and he wiggles, and she will start stroking him when he's still in that really sort of excited state, and so it then escalates quite quickly. He gets very excited and he wants to play, and then he'll sort of nip her, and I just need to get her to understand that although yes, she's excited to see him, he's excited to see her, what she needs to do is she needs to stop, and she needs to come and sit on the sofa with me and wait for him to calm down. And then once he's sitting and he's nice and calm, she can then go over and she can stroke him. And then not only will that teach him that he needs to be nice and calm when she's stroking him, it will also mean she'll have a nicer interaction with him, because he won't be jumping up, he won't be sort of getting her with his paws or with his teeth. And yeah, it'll just create a nicer relationship for the two of them. So that's something that I definitely need to work on a bit more with her. She's 3, so she obviously, it was going to take her a little bit of time. He's and also with him, my husband and I have decided that what we're going to do is we're going to be a little bit more animated with him. So we're quite chilled out, we don't get all like hyper, but we're going to be a little bit more animated with him, just so that we can then correct any behaviours with him when he does it to us. So get him a little bit more G'd up than we normally would, and then if he then puts his teeth on us, then we can obviously very quickly say to him, Jeff, no, and give him a very stern, you know, response to that, and then stand up and stop playing with him. Because with us, our reaction to his behaviour is obviously going to be a lot quicker than my 3-year-old's. So it's going to be a lot easier for us to teach him that that's not something that's allowed than it would be for her to correct him. And then when he does it to her, I'm obviously going to correct him as well, and I'm going to say, Jeff, no, and then I'm going to go and move them away from each other so that they stop the game, and then it's no fun for him, and hopefully quite quickly he'll pick up that actually this just means that I don't get played with and they don't look very happy about it, so I'll stop doing this. So I'll let you know in next week's update whether that's been something that's been successful, or whether there's other things that I've had to do to try and sort of get on top of it. But yeah, that's this week's challenge for me, to get on top of that. Then the next thing that I would say is he loves socks and shoes and my children's dolls. So yeah, he'll see them and then he'll sprint off with them, and yeah, it is a bit of a game for him. Jeff, that is not your doll. Give it back. Jeff, give me the doll. So as part of his training, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and teach him to drop things. So if he's holding something, that I can just say drop it, and he'll drop it, I'll give him a treat, and so there's sort of like a reward for dropping it, and then hopefully that'll be something where it won't create that kind of dynamic where he's just like running off all over the place. But yeah, loves shoes and socks, and my daughter's little dolls, he likes the plastic feet and arms, and he chews them. One of the dolls, unfortunately, has already lost a toe because of him. So yeah, we need to get on top of that. The girls have got much better at picking their toys up though since we've had Jeff, because they've realised that he'll just run off with them. So yes, so that's those 2 bits. And then lastly, the other thing that I would like to try and work on is he digs holes in the garden. It's not ideal, I don't love it, and yeah, he needs to stop. I say no, and he does realise and he stops, but then unfortunately, like he's got a 5-second memory, 30 seconds later he's there and he's digging again, and then I have to say no, and then he moves away. And so I need to get him to realise that no means you're just not allowed to do it, not don't do it now whilst I'm watching, which seems to be his interpretation of no at the moment. I guess it's like my children, to be honest. But yeah, he's a lovely boy, and I'm really lucky that we managed to have him as part of our family. So all in all, even with the things that we need to work on this week, he's an absolute pleasure. I adore him, and I love the times where I can give him cuddles and stroke him, and he's added a lovely element to our family, and everybody in our household really enjoys having him. I'll see you on the next one. All right then, take care. Bye.